Hello. So today I'm going to play The Mansion Incident, a solo survival horror RPG. It is based off of Resident Evil and is by Travis Brightfield. This game is a hack of Escape from Demon Castle Dracula, which I also played, and there's a video on that. By Rob Hebert. I mispronounced his name in the Escape from Demon Castle Dracula playthrough video, and I feel so bad. But you can find that at nerdypapergames.itch.io, and you can find Travis Brightfield's works at biggayuniverse.itch.io or biggayuniverse.com. There are some content warnings at the beginning of this. So this game is aimed at developing meaningful relationships and protecting the people that matter most to you. That said, it's also steeped in frightening, harrowing, and often violent situations. It includes the following non-exhaustive list of content you should be aware of in order to decide if you wish to read on or view on. Inferred presence and usage of guns. For suggestions on substitutions, see recurring items. Numerous zombified monsters, including mutated undead versions of human beings, dogs, snakes, primates, insects, spiders, and tentacle somethings. Every dog I'm gonna make a cat. Some normal-ish snakes as well, swarms of locusts, references to blood, lacerations, and other types of bodily harm and gore. It does not include any reference to self-harm, so we're good there, other than just now. Oppressive tight spaces. Under some circumstances, character death and sacrifice. So if none of that works for you, don't watch this video. It won't be good for you. You gotta protect your noggin. So, as I'm running inside, I'll get a little background on myself. So in the Mansion Incident, you take on the role of a member of the Investigation and Rescue Implementation Service, or IRIS. An elite group of detectives tasked with finding and in some cases liberating missing persons in the sprawling mountains of the Midwestern United States. As you recover your team from a sinister labyrinthian mansion that hides secrets and danger behind every door, you aren't sure what's really going on in the Stepford mansion. There are bizarre puzzles, booby-trapped rooms, hidden passages, and no end of ruthless, hungry monsters. But as part of Iris, you've bumped up against the inexplicable and the occult before. Mountain country is full of chthonic rituals, strange locations, and stranger beasts. There may not be anyone left alive from the helicopter, but you have to hold on to hope that your team survived. You care for each and every one of them. Among them are your best friend and your beloved. You won't be leaving without them. To escape, you'll need to trek through the mansion, endure its horrors, recover your 6 missing teammates, and find some means of transport out of the mountains. This game is about survival and terror, but it is also about relationships, community, and the strength that those bonds give us to endure. So you need a 1d6, a deck of playing cards with 1 red and 1 black joker, a means of writing. We're going to use this little notepad right here. Assorted markers for your character, health, and other notes of importance. I'm gonna use a penny for my character marker, and for my little health bars, I got this right here. So it says you always start out with 4 health tokens. You remove health in this order: find green, caution yellow, warning orange, danger red. So that's what the colors stand for in the health. It's a little different than Escape from Demon Castle Dracula because you have 5 candles in that one, and this one you have health bar. For a tenser and more difficult game, each token can take 1 damage. For a more manageable difficulty, let each token take 2 damage before being removed. Since this is the first time I'm ever playing this, I'm going to try a manageable difficulty and have each token take 2 damage. So every time I lose a token, I will erase half of it. Each card in the deck represents a location you might encounter on your search through the mansion. As you explore, you'll lay the cards on the table in front of you to form a visual representation of the mansion's layout. And I'll put a picture of the layout of the mansion at the end of the video. I'll put it up. Divide your paper into 4 sections: inventory, memories, research, and skills. You'll want the most room for your memories. Okay. Next, you'll choose a protagonist and add their starting inventory and skills. I guess I could just use this and write on it. That's what I'll do. There are 4 protagonists to choose from in the mansion incident, each with their own history, skills, and benefits. When you answer memory prompts, imagine how your character's unique history comes to life in their relationships with their teammates, or want to invent your own character? Go for it. Okay, so I am going to play the prodigy, Jane Easter. When I was first recruited, my colleagues didn't think much of me. I was younger, leaner, and less brash than the rest of the unit. But I quickly proved that precision, efficiency, discernment, and no small bit of courage went farther and faster than sheer audacity. I quickly rose to become one of Iris's most respected members. Mission after mission, you've proven your worth and earned the admiration of my team. So I add 1 lockpick to my inventory. It allows me to bypass 1 puzzle or non-court trap card without rolling. Environmental effects still trigger. And I will add a skill as well. Inventory. Lockpick. So then I will also add Rule Breaker to my skills. So with the Rule Breaker skill, once per turn when turning over a card, I may replace it. On a 5 to 6, I succeed. Shuffle it back into the deck and draw a new card. On a 3 to 4, nothing happens. On a 1 to 2, your attempt to slip away fails miserably. Discard 1 item. If you have no items, take 1 damage. Rule Breaker. Okay. So, although it's not stated explicitly in the text of the game outside of this box, the default world of the mansion incident, as an homage to a specific franchise of classic survival horror games, assumes your character has entered the mansion wielding a firearm and using ammunition for that weapon. You enter the mansion with nothing more than your service weapon and the pouches strapped to your chest and waist. Although you have 4 inventory slots, your starting equipment takes up a slot. Or it says altogether. Altogether you have 4 inventory slots. Duplicates of the same item can stack in a single slot up to 3 times, spilling into an additional slot after that. So you can't carry more than your inventory, you have to discard an item. There are a couple of exceptions to that rule. You gain inventory slots when you save some teammates and keep them so long as they stay alive. Nice. So grit is a mechanic in this game. When you encounter a memory prompt on a card, it may have multiple questions for you to respond to. Regardless, your responses should be written together as one entry, representing one memory. When you have at least 2 memories, you have grit, which you can spend at any time to re-roll the result, preserving any items that would have been spent on the first roll. When you do so, cross out the 2 memories. They cannot be used for this purpose again. If it pleases you, reflect on how those specific memories came to mind in a tense moment, how they spurred you onward despite the terror you faced. Grit is what makes you indomitable in the mysterious, deadly mansion. That is, of course, until it runs out. At any point you lose your last health token, you're dead. When you're about to lose your last health token, if you have any red court cards in your possession, a teammate will sacrifice themselves to save you. They don't need to do that. If your only red court card remaining is your beloved, you will not allow them to sacrifice themselves. You'll lose your last health token to save them instead, leaving them behind in the mansion. This could be the end of your game. You awake alone. The last thing you remember is the helicopter spinning out of control. You and your entire unit were thrown from it as you approached the Stepford estate, deep in the forested mountains. You'd come to investigate a slew of missing persons. Now your team counts among them. Something ravenous approaches from the dark. You stand, but there's only one place to run. Inside. So every game begins in the foyer, or foyer if you're fancy. You've just run in from the outside, narrowly evading whatever was on your heels. You didn't get a good look at it in the dark, but it was fast and ravenous. This mansion is strange, ornate and luxurious certainly, but also somehow unnerving. The foyer's empty. You call out, but no one responds. Hello? Hello? Anyone here? There's a cry from deeper in the mansion. I rush forward to the first door ahead of me. It opens into a dining hall. Something lurks in the shadows, tall, hulking. I can feel it seething rage in my direction. It steps forward into the light, a grotesque approximation of a human, stretched to their limit in every direction. I can't begin to comprehend who or what it is, but a patch on its chest reads, "The Nemesis." Beneath that, Rebirth Virus -X103. The Nemesis moves with weight and strength and purpose. It readies to charge. I widen my stance in preparation. I've seen all kinds of inexplicable mysteries as a member of Iris, and this one isn't enough to make me lose my cool yet. It stomps towards me. I dodge nimbly beneath its reach and run in the opposite direction toward a door. I reach the end of the dining hall. I snatch a green herb from the edge of a fireplace mantle. Add it to my inventory, then add the Nemesis marker and explore my first location. Once it's encountered for the first time, the Nemesis will never stop its pursuit of you. It will always be one room behind you. Track its movement with a marker of your choosing. When you move forward one room, it does as well. You're always just out of reach until you encounter the Black Joker and it catches up with you. To begin, the marker starts off the map below your first card. Okay? When you advance to your second card, place the marker on your first and so on. Anytime, you may use a wooden board to bar a door and slow the Nemesis. When you do this, do not advance the Nemesis marker the next time you advance yourself. When you need to backtrack past a room where the Nemesis is located, play out an encounter. See Black Joker. Draw the first card from the top of your deck and play it face up in front of you. I got the 9 of Hearts. Place your character token on top of it to indicate that you've entered the location. Find the card's entry in the codex to determine which location you've entered. Read the entry and learn how to explore the location. After you explore the location, check for doors. So let's go to the codex. We are going to the hearts, which represent discovered secrets. And we're going to find the 9 of Hearts. So the next room I go into after the dining hall is a bright, undisturbed research room. And I find a VHS tape sticking out of a TV. I play it and watch a montage reel of the Nemesis hunting down targets. It always wins. I learned something of its patterns, though. Add Nemesis Tactics 5 to your research. Up to 5 times you may add +1 to a roll against the Nemesis after seeing the result of the roll. When you run out of uses, cross it out. What quirk about your beloved initially annoyed you, but later you came to appreciate? How would they answer the same question about you? So I do like the idea of my beloved being one of my team members. So I feel like my beloved is gonna be Rachel Hall. We're both pretty young, and she's pretty cool. It was really annoying that she has to pack her bags and be so prepared before leaving home. Like, there's like a whole laundry list of things that she has to have before she leaves home, but I definitely learned to love it because, A, now we're always prepared. B, it's just one of the quirks that makes her her. And, you know, she would probably say that I have a lockpicking skill, and she thought that maybe wasn't the best skill to have because it may make me look like a criminal, but given the line of work that we're in, she definitely appreciates it whenever it helps us get from one place to another. Okay, yeah, so now I roll for doors. I roll a d6. I rolled a 3. So since I rolled a 3, there are 2 additional doors. Place 2 new cards face down. And I will choose to go to the left, which is the Jack of Hearts. The Clown. You step into an ornate ballroom and find it's in absolute chaos. Someone is swinging from a hanging chandelier by one arm and knocking back shuffling zombies with a golden candelabra. They're shouting, "On guard!" as they swing. You know immediately that it's the Clown. Only they could manage to wring fun out of such a desperate situation. You rush forward and help them take out the remaining zombies. They assure you they had everything under control, but when they hop down from the chandelier, they hug you and whisper sincere gratitude into your ear. Together you continue on. Add the skill Silver Lining. The next time you would lose your last instance of health, skip the damage. Afterward, cross out the skill. What's your favorite memory of a time the clown lightened the mood? What surprising thing brought out a more serious side to them? So one time, the clown and I were staking out these guys for this mission, and it was supposed to be like this really, really serious this serious encounter, and he walked up to the guy that we were supposed to be watching, pinched his nose, like, bonk, and then just walked away. I don't know if that really lightened the mood. It kind of made it more tense, but I think it's my favorite memory of the clown. But I know how to bring out the serious side of the clown. The clown really, really, really doesn't enjoy like the circus or any sort of encaged animal. No circuses, no zoos. The clown will not be a good time there. We will not. No thank you. So now we check for doors. I got a 4, so there are 2 additional doors. I'm gonna go up, and me and the clown venture into the Ace of Hearts room. Hearts represent discovered secrets and help you reflect on your connections to your teammates when encountering these cards. Do not roll. Just follow the prompts, record your memories, then roll to check for doors. So I got the Ace of Hearts. On a blinking computer terminal, you discover a memo to the mansion security forces detailing weak points for experimental subjects. Add the research critical weaknesses. Take +1 on all non-core monster cards, so clubs. When I first joined the team, what did the leader point out as my biggest weakness? How did they help you learn to overcome it or compensate? So I add the critical weaknesses to my research. I feel like the leader definitely saw that at first whenever I was recruited, I lacked a bit of confidence, and while I didn't really understand why that, like how or why I was perceived that way, I learned how to carry myself a bit differently, and eventually through, you know, hard work and dedication and persistence to just doing my job. And doing my job well. Not just doing it, but doing it well. I think that proved my worth, and yeah, I owe a lot to the leader, but we've got to find him. So now I roll 1d6 to see how many doors. So checking for doors, I rolled a 4. There are 2 additional doors here. One to the left and one to the right. We are gonna go to the right. the clown and I. The nemesis is still right on our heels. And let's see what room we're in. 8 of Hearts. I got lots of hearts this time. As we pass by a poorly balanced bookshelf, it topples over, causing a loud crash. I freeze in fear, listening for movement nearby, but nothing seems to stir. A photo album has landed at my feet. Flipping through its pages, I find twisted photos of smiling family members and scientists posing in front of restrained, grotesque human experiments. A note falls out, detailing the names and behaviors of a few monsters with hand-drawn portraits of them in the margins. Add the research. Tragic portraits. Take +1 on all club black court cards. When was the time you failed to save something or someone? How did your beloved help you process and respond to feelings of guilt and sorrow? So, it was just after Rachel had been recruited, and, you know, she mostly does the forensic stuff, or she did at the time. And we had just arrived to this scene, and we saw this woman just gasping for air, and I watched the blood gurgle up her throat and come out of her mouth, and her eyes lost all the life instantly, and there's nothing I could do to save her, and I tried everything I could, and, you know, it took a while, but Rachel, she used to be a medic, and she was in charge of the forensics on that case. Definitely helped me process that by reassuring me that there's nothing I could have done, that I should hold no reason to harbor any guilt or, you know, anything along those lines for that case, because there's nothing I could have done. You know, we never caught the guy who did that, and that still haunts me a little bit, but it's livable now. So we'll roll 1d6 to check for doors and add tragic portraits to my character sheet. So I rolled a 4 for doors, so that is 2 additional doors. And we're gonna go down this time. I got the 6 of Spades. Spades are mansion traps that test your skill and dexterity. 6 of Spades. Do not roll. For a 2-card radius, this card, those touching it, and the cards touching those. Your character must move through the dark whenever moving through this space. You may add a marker to these cards to indicate this effect. While in the dark, roll 2d6 or just roll twice. Whenever rolling, and take the lower result. You may immediately search for doors. New connects within a 2-card radius will remain in the dark. Oh my goodness. So look for doors, but I roll 2d6 and take the lower. I got a 3, so that is still 2 doors. There has to be a card to the left and to the right. We're gonna go to the right. The 5 of clubs. It is still dark in here, so I still have disadvantage. Oh my goodness. So the 5 of clubs is the brain drainer. A body of legs, claws, and jaws. They wait, still and silent, to drop from above. A flicker of moonlight through the windows just revealed a horde of them clinging to the ceiling. Keep your head up if you want to keep your head on. Okay, so I rolled a 4 and a 6, so I take the 4. You slay the monster, but at great cost to yourself. Describe how and then take 1 damage. This location is clear and you may now look for doors. I feel like, you know, they're lurking on the ceiling and one of them drops some of its saliva onto my head or my shoulder, or maybe it lands on my boot, and I look down at it and then I look up. I shoot it with my starter pistol and it falls down on me and it's trying to eat my brains as my shots finally hit it and I succeed at killing it. But I take 1 damage. And then I'm gonna roll for doors. I still have disadvantage. A 4 and a 2. I don't remember what a 2 was. On a 1 through 2, there's only 1 additional door. Place a new card face up and in line with the current location, and move your token to it. Okay. The clown and I have once again regained the light of day, and the 4 of clubs is the room we have made it to, where we see a primate swinging from the rafters, bearing bloodied, gnashing fangs. Our genetic cousins, half our size but twice as strong and faster even than that. Don't let them get a grip on you. It won't end well. I rolled a 6. You slay all the creatures in the room and find a useful item in the location. Describe the fight, then add 1 ammunition or 1 wooden boards to your inventory. So I am going to add the wooden boards to my inventory, except I'm not really going to add it because I'm going to roll for doors. I rolled a 1. And so I continue down this hallway and I board up the door behind me, keeping the nemesis 1 step further behind me. So I'm going to instantly use that. And then I drew the 2 of hearts. So the clown and I enter the room filled with monitors. Some of them still work, displaying closed-circuit camera footage from around the mansion. You get a better idea of the layout and how to lose a pursuer. If the nemesis marker is currently in play, remove it from the map. Anytime you pass through this room, you can remove the nemesis marker from play. That's cool. So then I get to be away from the nemesis for a minute? What was a time the mentor helped you see the bigger picture regarding a difficult problem? How did you help them appreciate the finer details? One time, in college, we were working on this lab in this class, and for some reason, I just couldn't get it through my head how to read tire treads. And like something just wasn't clicking, and they taught me a way to see the pattern in all tire treads. And you know, it's really helped me become a better investigator for Iris. You know, I'm sure there are bigger problems that I've been helped with, but that's the one that comes to mind. And, you know, they have a tendency to just go from case to case to case to case to case. And, you know, one day I had to take my mentor aside and be like, hey, sometimes you gotta remember to stop and smell the roses. You know, the grass is greener where you water it. Or some other cliche phrase. But enough talking. Let's roll for doors. 2. There's still only one path. And we get the Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades is we wind up in the bell tower. A tall spire filled with heavy metal balls. Some hang perilously on tied ropes heavy enough to crush you if your fate turns sour. Or worse. They might ring out, announcing your location to the mansion's many hungry creatures. Now we roll. Oh my god, I rolled a 6. You easily evade the trap and discover a resource along the way. Describe how and then add either a knife or wooden boards to your inventory. I'm gonna add a knife at this point. I think that seems very useful. Okay, so I've got a knife. Now let's roll for doors. A1. We continue. The 10 of clubs. So from the bell tower, the clown and I hear the dripping of water as we enter the next room. We see it, this amphibious predator. It has wet, scaly skin that glistens under the moonlight, just like it emerged from a swim. It stands on 2 muscular legs, moving in sprints and bounds. Its claws rend wood and metal alike. Massive jaws unhinge to expose rows and rows of serrated teeth before clenching shut again. The near-perfect predator on land and in the water. You stand perfectly still observing it, but stillness won't save you. It's noticed you now and will stop at nothing to hunt you down. So we roll a d6, but we get +1 for the critical weaknesses ability we got from one of the cards earlier. Allows us to get +1 on all non-court club cards. Which, thank goodness, because I got a 2. So this amphibious creature runs into us and just plows us over. And I take 1 damage. Roll again. We still get +1. I got a 5. So +1 is 6. Ow. You slay all creatures in the room and find a useful item in the location. Describe the fight and add 1 wooden boards or ammunition to your inventory. I'm gonna add 1 wooden boards to my inventory. And let's roll to see how many doors are off this area. I got a 4, that is 2 doors. We are gonna continue and go to the left, which is the 5 of hearts. As we leave the room with the amphibious reptile, gosh, that's hard to say sometimes, I noticed something sticking out behind a tear in the corner of a framed painting hanging in the hall. I peel the painting back and find a blueprint stored behind it. Add it to your research and take +1 on all non-court trap cards. Nice. What's your team's headquarters like? What's your favorite room to spend time in? Who on the team hangs out there with you the most? My team headquarters is incredibly professional, and you know, I wasn't really sure that I was going to fit in whenever I first got there, but you know, I gave it a little bit of time, and turns out I do fit in. And my favorite room is probably my office. I like that I can shut the door, and you know, I would love to tell you that Rachel is the one who hangs out there with me the most, but it's definitely my mentor. We spend a lot more time together than Rachel and I do whenever we're at work. So now let's roll for rooms off of here. I rolled a 3, so that is 2 rooms. And we're gonna go south, where we will run into the Nemesis. I drew the Black Joker. The Nemesis is a relentless, unkillable foe that pursues you through the mansion. Though it moves slowly, it possesses otherworldly strength and rage. You've not rescued your beloved. True, I haven't. When the Nemesis is near, the only option is to run. Roll. 6. On a 5 through 6, you successfully escape into the next room. It pursues you. Okay, so I am already connected to 2 rooms. We can roll for doors, though. I rolled a 1. So that is 1 door. We add a card, and we'll go that way. Jack of clubs. So I enter the next room, and I run into Mr. Chainsaw. Me and the clown do. A lanky, erratic creature roams the halls. I hear the whirring of his weapon before I hear the whirring of his weapon before I see him, and once I do, it's nearly too late. He moves quickly once he's spotted prey. He attacks with the chainsaw. No matter how he swings it, the effect is devastating. So I get a +1 on club face cards, the big club court cards, because of the, what was it, critical memory. I rolled a 3, so I got a 4. You trade blows with the boss, but neither gain nor give ground. Describe how and roll again. So I imagine that I'm sitting there, my knife in one hand, my service pistol in the other, and we are just walking in circles. Like him on one side, me and the clown on the other. We're just circles. And we roll again. A 4 + 1. You inflict 1 damage on the boss. Describe how. So he lunges with his chainsaw forward to the right, and the clown dodges further to the right than he swung, and I dodge to the left, and I slash him with the knife once, and I do 1 damage to him. And so then we continue this I makeshift ring around the rosy, and I inflict 1 more damage on the boss, trying to get him to fall down. And oh, nice! I rolled a 4 + 1 again. So we have perfected this technique in circling the chainsaw man and weaving and bobbing at just the right time to make him lunge at an attack that is going to miss, and slash him for a 3rd time, and we defeat him. And when we do, he drops a chainsaw, which gives us advantage in combat rolls. We definitely want to take that. I am going to give the clown the knife, and I am going to take the chainsaw. The clown has the knife. We're being pursued by the Nemesis. I rolled a 5 for doors. So since I rolled a 5 for doors, there are 3 additional doors from this location. We are going to go up, try to confuse the nemesis. Woo! And we drew the red Joker. Backup arrives. Your team's pilot arrives back at the mansion, but they're ready to bug out again. I've not found every teammate. The mission isn't finished. The pilot can't risk your only transport being overtaken by monsters. They fly off for now, but leave you with a gift. Take 1 ammunition. Shuffle the red Joker back into the deck. Now we... roll to see how many doors there's from there? I got a 2, so that's 1 door. That is the Queen of Hearts. I find my beloved. You're walking outside along a rampart lining the mansion's roof when your heart freezes. Down 1 level below, dashing through the shadows in the dark, you catch the silhouette of a person headed for a dead end. You know unmistakably that it's your beloved. The rampart shakes. The nemesis has found them and they have no escape. You see a spool of cable up ahead. You don't have time to wonder at its strength or purpose. You tie it to your belt and leap over the edge. To your elation, the cable catches at just the right moment and you swing into your beloved, grabbing them and barreling over the edge of their walkway. Do not roll when encountering these cards. Just follow the prompts, then remove the card from the board and place it in front of you. The teammate has joined you for the rest of your mission. After removing the red court card, replace it with a new card from the top of the deck and immediately explore it. So we kind of goofed a little bit whenever we did that, but... So, Rachel, the clown, and I venture into this room that is the King of Spades. So the room that Rachel was in is the room of the Mad Doctor. Once the lead scientist, the doctor that engineered the virus, has fallen prey to their own hubris. They believe the virus has been perfected, and that in its grasp, so too would they be. They were wrong. Now mutated, stumbling, shambling forth as a mess of ever-growing tentacles, they wander the innards of the mansion. Their mind is gone, and only one impulse remains: to spread the virus, and they'll destroy anything that gets in the way. So I attack this mad scientist with my chainsaw, and I get a 6, inflicting 2 damage onto it, cutting right into its flesh, spewing its innards and blood everywhere. And then we roll again. And the same thing happens. I just go in from the other side and I cut a V the other side, and its head and then this portion of its torso come off in a clean chunk, just like it was a piece of wood that I was carving. And then the scientist falls to the ground, the Mad Doctor. So while I'm looking at his corpse, he drops a key card. While this item is in my inventory, the top card of the deck is always face up. When you need to draw multiple cards, when placing multiple doors, do not view additional cards beneath the topmost one. Okay. The top card currently is the Ace of Diamonds. We are going to roll for doors. 2. There is 1 door here, so we are going to continue on into the Ace of Diamonds room, and the nemesis is right behind us. The Ace of Diamonds, we enter this lab, a pristine laboratory. None of the machines will turn on except for one. A large centrifuge in the center of the room There are 3 vials of different sizes, filled with varying levels of green liquid. A hand-scrawled note reads, Tower of Hanoi? So now I roll to see if I can solve this puzzle. I rolled a 2. You lose your nerve or can't find a way through. I'm gonna backtrack, and that's gonna actually force us to fight the nemesis. I have rescued my beloved. That's it. You're tired of this mansion, of its monsters, of your never-ending flight from certain death at the hands of the nemesis. You're putting an end to it. With your beloved at your side, you grit your teeth and turn to fight, until your last breath if you must. The nemesis has 4 health points. Your beloved has 3. Roll. So I'm going to use my chainsaw to attack. Well, I rolled 2 5s. I inflict 1 damage on the nemesis. It's reaching for Rachel, and I start up the chainsaw and begin sawing into its back. And it flips around to hit me, and I dodge out of the way doing a sort of barrel roll, and I hit it once more with the chainsaw, and then I continue to do this, just kind of dodging and weaving and rolling and swinging my chainsaw about, until I finally inflict enough damage on the nemesis, but it definitely hits me in the process. I've put down the nemesis for now, and I can safely backtrack without encountering it. So let's go into this room. This is the Jack of Diamonds room. The Jack of Diamonds, we find the new kid. When walking past a large armoire, a hand reaches out and pulls me in. I rear back, ready to fight, until the person inside shushes me and squeezes my hand. Their hand is clammy and shaky, and even in the dark enclosure, I know it's the new kid. They've just recently joined the team, and they're a bit younger than everyone else. This isn't their first mission, but it's very early in their career. I comfort them briefly, then lead them out to demonstrate that the room is safe. Together, you continue on. Add the skill Fresh Eyes. Take +1 on all non-court puzzle cards, so the diamonds. This stacks with other benefits. I am not the most friendly with new people, so greeting the new kid was probably very official, very businesslike. And then, after a couple weeks, I saw that they could hack it, and I took them to lunch, and I got them a nice little basket with a handwritten note, and then they have really been pretty instrumental in... They're really a pivotal part of this team. So let's add our friend to our pile of friends. We have found, half of them? Replace this card. We now have 4 friends. Well, 3 friends and me. And the 7 of Hearts is the card that we... Nope, 7 of Diamonds is the card that we're gonna draw. So we venture into the floodgates. After finding the new kid in the armoire, we look around and see that we're in the floodgates, deep in the basement level beneath the mansion. We stand in a cylindrical room on a floating platform buoyed by water. Several valves jut out from a control panel, and the water level changes as you turn them. Another platform lies overhead. So now we must roll to see if we can do this. So we got a 3. After struggling for a while, you finally figure out a solution, but at some cost. Take 1 damage and describe how. I'm turning the valves and one of them is stuck. And while I'm turning it, I slip my hand off of the valve and punch myself in the face really, really hard. And it causes me to suffer 1 damage. But I succeed, so I do get to add 1 ammunition. This location is clear, and we check for doors. I rolled a 4, so that is 2 doors. We are going to go to the left. The Queen of Diamonds. We find my best friend! As I step out onto the 2nd floor mezzanine overlooking the mansion's foyer, you see a person running along the other side. They're being pursued by a group of faster-than-usual zombies. Before you can do anything to help them, a horde breaks down the door behind you and you're forced to sprint away yourself. You both race towards the middle of the mezzanine, and you get closer, and as you get closer, you can see that it's your best friend. You both shout each other's name in relief as you run. You meet at the top of an ornate flight of stairs leading down to the lobby. More zombies are climbing from up there as well. You both turn. Back to back, you steel yourselves for a fight from all sides. It's brutal and messy and absolutely terrifying, but together you manage to put them all down. Whenever it's over, you both slump down on the ground and sit shoulder to shoulder a while. You catch your breath. With them at your side again, you feel hope. Together you'll continue on. Add the skill Second Wind. Immediately heal to complete health. If you're already at complete health, gain 2 green herbs. Then cross out this skill. One time my best friend and I were hiking and I slipped down this cliffside and was falling into this ravine. And I was freaking out and my hands were starting to sweat and I swear I was gonna die, but my best friend reminded me that A, we came out here and we have climbing gear. B, use it. C, if you freak out, you're just going to use more oxygen and it's not going to get to your brain. And then you won't be able to process anything and you won't have sane thoughts. And they talked me down while they helped me climb up the mountain. Full health. And we replace that card with another card. It is the 8 of Clubs. So in this room, you hear the sound of something wet, slipping, sliding, and rubbing in the dark. Then you feel it wrapping around your ankle and slithering up your leg. You shake it off, but there's dozens more wriggling towards you on the floor. And the walls. And the ceiling. The vague silhouette of a person stands in the distance, covered in wriggling wet tentacles. Leeches, maybe. It matters not. Whatever they are, they won't leave you alive. So we have an ability to give us +1. So 5 + 1 is 6. You slay all the monsters in the room and find a useful item in the location. Describe the fight and add ammunition or wooden boards to your inventory. So the 5 of us use our training to the best of our ability, and we slaughter all of these slithering snakes before they could get to us. And this person that is covered in wiggling wet tentacles of leeches or whatever, we managed to slash through it and, with the chainsaw and knives and guns. And, if we didn't have hearing damage before, we probably do now. But we do manage to get past it and we gain, some wooden boards. Actually, yeah. So let's gain some wooden boards. And then let's roll to see how many doors are here. And there are 2 doors. And there's already an existing door that goes up, and we are going to go up to the Ace of Clubs. The Ace of Clubs, we encounter a zombie. Many different kinds of people inhabited the mansion before this incident. Chefs, security, servers, cleaners, guests, and an expansive extended family. Whoever they were before, they're all the same in one way now. They're dying to scratch, bite, and devour me. And my friends. One is sneaking up right behind me. So I rolled a 5 plus 1. You slay all the creatures in the room, and I'm gonna give some wooden boards to Rachel. So a zombie is sneaking up behind me, and actually it is Rachel who takes a knife and just stabs it in the neck. Apparently with enough force to slay it before I even have a chance to turn around. And so then we roll for doors. 1. There's 1 door. We're going to go to the left. The 2 of spades. Once we step inside, the walls start moving. The space is getting tighter and tighter and compresses. Spikes tear through the plaster, and we'll all soon be impaled, crushed, or both. Okay, so we don't have a +1 to this roll. But we rolled a 6? No way! Oh my god. We easily evade the trap and discover a resource along the way. We're gonna add an extra knife to our inventory, and there are 3 doors coming off of this room. With our top card trait, we know that 1 is the 6 of Hearts, which we are going to... Let's go to the 6 of Hearts room. So, the 6 of Hearts, we wander into an unfinished gallery. Marble statues and unhung paintings litter the room. On a spotlight pedestal, we find a stone emblem. This item automatically solves the 6 of Diamonds emblem door. Add it to your inventory, and this is one of the items that doesn't take an inventory slot. What was a time you felt deep belonging with your teammates? Well, I'm feeling deep belonging with my teammates right now. And I have not told them how it makes me feel, but if we get out of here alive, I certainly will. And so there are 2 doors going off of here. And we are going to the 7 of Spades room. So the 7 of Spades experimental menagerie. The room where animal subjects were kept for experimentation. The virus broke out, anything left dead or alive in this mansion turned. And this room became a twisted zoo. So the clown gets really stoic and like has this look on their face that is like, this is absolutely an atrocity. So the noises are vile and gut-wrenching. Scratching, hissing, pounding senselessly against metal cages. Tread lightly and move quickly, lest something breaks out. Special rules. I rolled a 1. On a 1 to 2, search the deck for the next club and place it on top. Reshuffle the deck. And take 1 damage. The subject has escaped, injuring you in the process. So one of these subjects sees the light of the door and barrels past us and knocks me to the ground, injuring me in the process. Roll again, continuing until you successfully clear the room. If no club cards remain in the deck, you immediately succeed. So this is a lasher. It creeps along the ceiling. A massive quadruped of flesh and rippling muscles. Each of its claws is larger than your skull. Brain tissue bulges out of its head above blind eyes and a lashing, lacerating tongue. If you're slow and silent, you might be able to slip by undetected, but a floorboard creaks beneath your foot. You have its full attention now. It leaps at you. So now we see if we can... Oh no, I rolled a 1. What you thought was a lifeless corpse on the ground begins to stand and shuffle towards you. The reanimated zombie must be dealt with following these same roll mechanics before you can search for doors. This effect can stack an unlimited number of times. And we got another zombie. So there's 2 zombies and a lasher in this room. So now we find the next club card, because we didn't succeed at that, which is the 7 of clubs. So we have 2 zombies, a lasher, and a 7 of clubs. A Darkstalker, an offshoot of the brain drainers that lurk above. Darkstalkers crawl in the shadows by your feet. They spin webs to catch and confine you. They arrive in swarms and devour you. Devour in storms of chittering fangs. You hear the scratching of their movement now somewhere in the dark around you. I rolled a 4. We slay these guys, but at great cost to myself. So these guys are skittering around and trying to trap me and my friends. These Darkstalkers are. And we managed to stomp them all out before they get to us. But we still have a lasher and 2 zombies in this room. So the lasher, we got a 3. And so the zombies got a 5 and a 2. So the lasher, we got the 3, and we take 1 more damage. So should have had that anyway as well. And then I got a 2. You're injured. So these zombies are just ganging up on me, and I just can't get past them. And another zombie animates from the ground, and now there are 3 of them. And since we're still on that spades card, so it's the King of Clubs. The King of Clubs is a Titan. The perfected specimen. A hulking, efficient, superhuman monster of muscle and bone, a precursor to the Nemesis. It only knows what it's been programmed to know and only does what it's commanded. Today, that means stopping you by any means necessary. So let's deal with these 3 zombies. 6, a 2, and a 2 for the zombies. So I'm gonna say I take 1 damage and then slay the rest of the zombies and get 1 ammunition. But the Titan is still lurking, and I must try to fight him. Of which I got a 4. You trade blows with the boss. So maybe we're trying to make a bigger version of the Mr. Chainsaw circle room. And we, try to do it, but it's not really working as well with this guy. And he picks up on our movements and tracks us. and he lunges towards me and he hits me with his sword, causing me to take 1 damage. And then I inflict 1 damage on him with my knife, but I get injured in the process. So I flip back and I grab my knife out of my boot, like the side of my boot, and then I fling around and slash this Titan, but he rears back and hits me and knocks me into the wall, knocks the breath out of me, causes me to lose a little bit of health. And then he charges into the wall and flattens me to a pulp, causing me to die. In which Rachel is like, no! Yeah. So, that was the mansion incident. That was incredibly fun. We almost made it out. I got 4 of my friends. And yeah, if you liked this, if you enjoyed it, you know, like, comment, subscribe on the video, let me know. And yeah, download the game, play it. Let me know how your experience went. This is by Travis Brightfield. It is a hack from Escape from Demon Castle Dracula by Rob Hebert. I mispronounced it in the other game, like in my other video, whenever I played that game, and I feel really bad about it. But yeah, I'll put the link in the description below. This was really fun, and I liked it a lot. I like the whole premise of these games. Yeah, so I hope you have a beautiful day. Don't forget to be nice to people, and I'll see you later.